Hi, my name is Andrew Hassan. I am running for St. Croix County Supervisor in District 7. A little bit about me. I'm the son of an immigrant and government employee father and social worker mother. I understood the importance of community and service from a very early age. Those are the values that my wife Stacy and I want to impart on our two boys, Ethan and Evan, and it's why we chose to make Hudson our home 8 years ago. I've spent the majority of my career in telecom and automotive industries, specializing in finance. Today, I'm actually a Capital One area sales manager overseeing auto finance in Minnesota and Western Wisconsin. For the last 6 years, I've worked to protect our precious water resources as a member and now chairperson of the Hudson Public Utilities Commission. Honestly, it's simple. I want to make a difference in the world, and why not start right here in our community? I watch both my parents and extended family members take roles in local and federal government, from MnDOT, American Red Cross, Human Services, medical positions, and all the way up to the State Department. It's in my blood to help others and serve my community. Most importantly, I want my children to be able to enjoy this city when they get older, just like many of us have. I also hope to lead in my father's footsteps of showing my children that hard work, education, dedication are core elements to a successful future. My father and mother took it one step further and taught my sisters and I the difference between living in a city and living in a community. In a city, you're basically invisible. Anybody can pick up their bags and go from one city to another. You can carry on with your day-to-day tasks and rarely speak to your neighbor, or possibly don't even know who your neighbor is. In a community, everyone looks out for each other. We know our neighbors by name. We know the cashier at Aldi by name. We know their hobbies. We know the man singing all day, walking around the track at the YMCA. We know our police officers by name and have community get-togethers in the park. These are some of the things that I cherish and value most about this community. Some of the big issues for me, mental health and addiction crisis, because that's exactly what it is. Are you aware that folks currently get hauled across the state to a facility in Winnebago, Wisconsin that's 4.5 hours away with a police escort while having a mental breakdown? Imagine what that must be like for that person and our officers. We need to figure out a different option. Clean water. More and more corn is being harvested here. It needs a lot of nitrogen, which goes into the ground. Over 10% of farmers' drinking water isn't drinkable right now. We also have contamination in the ground right across the river in Lake Elmo and Woodbury. Making clean water and protecting our aquifers is and should be a top agenda item for all of us. Transportation. Anybody that lives here in Hudson or anywhere in the St. Croix Valley knows that we have a transportation problem, whether it's parking, sidewalks, or some sort of metro transit. Government grants are available for service like curb to curb, which some of our neighboring cities have done. I'd like to see that option come here to Hudson. It would be a good start without hitting the taxpayer's bottom dollar. This is a topic everyone has an opinion on. I would like to first get a better look at where our money is being directed. It's very clear that it's not going to a handful of topics I've already discussed. This also ties back to a saying my college business professor used to say, "It takes money to make money." I spent a lot of time reflecting on that quote, and the truth is, we live in a very fast-growing, desirable community. We have infrastructures that are very old that need to be upgraded and in some cases expanded. The water treatment plant, for instance, we've been working for the past couple of years making plans for that facility. Just to run a study to find out what needs to be done costs upwards of $35,000. That's just to give us a breakdown of the workload needed. We also built well number 10 up by Hanley and the new Xcel Energy Station. That facility was $10 million, but was a necessary expense to help sustain all the new residents the city has been and continues to take on, as well as some of the larger businesses who have significant water needs. In short, spending is going to happen no matter what. I would like to focus on what we are spending our money on and figure out where it is best spent. As much as I like the idea of an 800-foot dock down at the waterfront, it's not something we need. It's a vanity project. And if we're wanting to start doing vanity projects, how about we build a splash pad somewhere in the city? We have a crazy large population of young families who drive all over Minnesota to find a good splash pad. We have some of the nicest parks, in my personal opinion, in the whole entire St. Croix Valley area. Why not take a splash pad and put one in and make it an awesome addition to one of those parks? I'm the current chairman of the Hudson Utilities Commission. The reason I got involved with the commission was to be a part of the water conservation movement. All of us have seen the news around the country of water contamination in Michigan, Florida, and like I said before, even right across the river in Lake Elmo and Woodbury. We need to start taking this serious. We need to make sure we are protecting our aquifers and keeping an extremely tight oversight of what and who can access it. We have been doing this here in Hudson. That's why we have some of the cleanest drinking water in the entire state, and I plan to continue to keep it that way. Here's the truth of it. If the county board has a large organizational change, one of the first things that will happen is the new group is going to strip down our local services to what's called essential services, sheriffs, EMS, etc. We will lose social workers, mental health professionals, and others from the social services realm. This group also wants to sell the county nursing home, probably one of the first things they want to do. We had 2 referendums in the early 2000s, and it was voted 2-1 that people wanted to keep the nursing home around. It's the only nursing home with a 5-star rating in New Richmond. We need to have a public nursing home or everything will be private, and if you can't afford it, too bad, so sad. We are on the verge of one of the largest generations of seniors coming about. How is that fair to those who have worked their whole life just to make ends meet, to be stripped of a place to live? The continuing crisis which developed with mental illness will continue to grow, and families are splitting up due to the addictions. We need to address addiction and mental health in this county. Kids have parents who suffer from addiction who then lose their homes, and the kids become collateral damage and are homeless. We are essentially creating a vortex of chaos and civil discourse. The bright side of population growth is the more people that move here, the more improvements we can continue to make. Hudson is an inclusive, vibrant, and beautiful place to live. I welcome continued growth with open arms. I feel like I've pretty much covered everything I had in mind for now. We have a lot of work in front of us, and if given the opportunity, I will work with all of the members of the board to ensure we continue to live in one of the most beautiful parts of this country. The last thing I would like to add is my sincere gratitude and thanks to all the people that have helped me get to this point. I have taken a lot of pride in serving this community with the Public Utilities Commission and also volunteering in other aspects around the community, which I'm very grateful for. The last thing I would like to ask everybody to do is please, if you feel like you enjoyed what I had to say and you can relate to what I have to say, please check out my website. It's andrew4stcroixcounty.com, or check me out on Facebook at Andrew Hassan for St. Croix County District 7.